Lance Stevenson versus Rob Cologne. They have their own teams, right? It was Team TNC versus Team BRP. One hell of a 3v3. I feel like every 3v3 we've witnessed always comes down to literally the last possession for both teams. Somehow, some way. There was a lot of kerfuffles going on between the matchup. There was a lot of energy between the matchup at the face-off. And there was also a hidden storyline in the face-off. I mean, a hidden storyline in this matchup. And I want to talk about that first and foremost. Isotay. Isotay had the weirdest responsibility. He had to beat Team TNC because he wasn't picked on Team TNC. That's like the villain hero arc of the century. Fellas?
Well, further than that, he defended his TNC guys when the kerfuffle broke out. So that was just an odd situation, but he clearly was the X factor of the game. I'm not sure how many points he ended with, but he just impacted the game, creating more possessions. I think just on the game-winning possession, I think he was the one that tipped it back to Lance. So,
yep.
Like I said in Indiana, we got to make an appreciation post of all the hustle plays and boards he made, and drop that on TNC IG.
I agree with both of y'all, man. No Isotay, no win for BRP. That's simple.
Right.
No Isotay, no win. Second chance. I don't know how many times we said second chance opportunities for BRP just based off Isotay diving for loose balls, running after somebody shot the basketball and played the glass really well. Obviously, I was talking to him. He said there's a point where the TNC guys was like, you better not be the one to end it. You better not. And Tate's hearing that in his ear, and he's like, all right, let me get up off it. You know
nah, you can't get off that. I would try to score. I would try to score.
It was crazy, though, man. I think Tate played his role really well, bro. Really well. We kind of knew he was going to be kind of a utility guy, being that Lance and DA are in the kind of like their home state or their city or whatever the case may be. But he played his role to a T, fellas. But I do want to say, bro, DA looked really good. If we're just talking about BRP right now, DA looked really good, man. He could shoot the shit out the ball, bro. He could shoot. Go ahead.
He can be. Quick accountability. In the broadcast before the game, me and Sel were having a little debate. I thought they would get Tay involved early and then rely on them late. Sel was like, nah, they're just going to go right to it. And they did. They just went right to it. They did not try to get him involved. It's a tough role to play. I've been in that corner before. I'm not good at it. It's just, it's tough to get into the game like that. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Tay.
No, I think for Tay, what was really interesting to me was the scout on Tay is to always sag off and force him to be a shooter. But what that does in these 3v3s, it allows him to do what he does very well, crash the boards and put himself in positions to make to create second chance opportunities. I was telling that, I was like, man, you know, when someone plays off of you and the shot goes up, if you don't account for that person, 9 times out of 10, they can always get a second chance opportunity. So with Tay, when you play off on him that much, you have to be eyes on him at all time, because when that shot goes up, he's crashing. Without that, the way Team TNC started, Team BRP probably loses by 10 or 15. To be honest with you, like there was timely dives on the floor for the old board, the tip outs, the boards, the help side block. I think the help side block was like one of the last possessions of the game. Like Tay, outside of the score sheet, he was the Draymond Green. Like Draymond Green is the heart of the Golden State Warriors. Without Tay, you feel me? DA and Lance aren't able to freely just get off. So, yeah, man, shout out to Tay, bro. Not necessarily MVP, but he is the X factor of the game, for sure.
Who's MVP of that game?
DA.
Gotta be DA, bro. I mean, DA, he had a huge stretch when it was like 34 to 31 or something like that, and he just stringed them on. And timely bucket after timely bucket. He had some defensive stops too. Some of them could have been fouls, which we'll get to in a minute. But Team BRP, that was my favorite to win the game only because they had DA and Lance. And then you add an Isotay to it. So
yeah. Oh,
and
wait.
Go ahead,
Mills. Shoot it, man. He can just shoot it. I feel like most of his points are behind the arc. Am I right or no? I can't. Remember?
Yeah, I think so. He may have one bitty.
You gotta treat him like a dead eye, like over every screen, but also hedge the screen. and then you just got to make him drive. You have to. He's just too good. When he gets a shot off, it like when the shot gets going, it's over.
And I see someone say they should have kept Cam on DA. They were trying to get Cam off of DA. They were forcing the switch, which is what after the game we were talking to Malik and Cam. I was like, what Malik should have done on every screen involving Cam, involving DA, involving Lance, he should have jammed Lance. And I think even Millie alluded to it too, or it might have been B. Jam Lance, which means if I'm guarding a screener, I'm pushing up with them to where my man can go all the way under and be right back in front. Yeah. Malik kind of wasn't jamming. He was just touching Lance like this and kind of like low flat hedging. That didn't do anything besides force the switch. So yeah, Cam did a great job on DA. Yeah. Cam did a great job on DA, which I want to, kind of move into the next part of the segment, focus on Team TNC for a little bit. Then we'll talk about the game in itself. What were the successes and failures of Team TNC?
Man, I think in the first half, BRP was allowing them to shoot. And they were knocking down shots. BRP had a horrible defensive game plan coming out, which allowed Team TNC to be comfortable at the start. And that's how they got out to that comfortable lead. I remember Rob getting a couple easy threes, Cam hitting a three off the backboard, and another three, I believe. And I think Malik Dunbar hit a three in that first half as well. That kind of gave him like a 25-19 lead or something like that in the first half. So they was doing a really good job defensively, but they were also getting some open looks that I think BRP was not expecting them to hit going into the game. But I think their movement and their intention on the offensive end, whether that be getting the board, hurry up, quick swing, and the ball wasn't sticking. Opposed to BRP, the ball was sticking a lot in the first half to where Lance was just looking at DA some possession. So I think the offensive intention from Team TNC and the intensity of their possessions kind of gave them that early lead and knocking down open shots. Some of the things where they went wrong in the second half, they went away from it. I think that in the second half, they kind of went back into that ISO ball, hero ball a little bit, and then Rob Cologne ended up hitting some shots down the stretch to make it close. But I think if they would have continued to run their actions and be more intentional off the defensive rebound, quick swing, playing off closeouts and getting open looks that way, they would have been even more successful throughout the second half compared to the first. But that's what I saw from them.
Yeah, I think they kind of flip-flopped. I thought TNC came out like intentionally getting everyone involved. You had Cam coming off a ball screen early. I like to see that. I kind of thought that's what I thought before the game they would do with Tay just to get him going and involved in the game. But then, yeah, TNC went to some more ISO ball, but it's okay because when Rob is making shots like that, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have a Rob or or if Rob's not on, then it becomes an issue. But when he was shooting the way he was, you almost wanted to be maybe even a little more selfish. Yeah, and then BRP, they went to the pick and roll in the second half, and that really was it worked really well to them. Like, they just spammed the pick and roll as I thought they should. That just makes total sense. You got Lance, that's the biggest player on the floor, but also can play out of the pick and pop. You got DA that can shoot it. You don't want to necessarily go ISO with DA on Rob. Not that he can't, but it's like, why not use the pick and roll to, get an easier bucket or just get an easier advantage?
So two things here. I think with Rob, that run he went on to end the game, man, like Millie said, bro, I think that three ball would have been one of the better shots, only because he knew, because he drove prior, like 2 times prior, that the ref's whistle was, especially that, like the last plays, swallowed completely. They weren't calling anything. So to try to force the hand of the refs at that time wasn't going to work. The 3 ball he just hit a few times before that, I mean, I know you need 2 points, but like, bro, that 3 ball was there for you. Now I will say this too, kind of, you guys kind of touched on all the good points of TNC. I kind of focus on the gameplay a little bit. Watching it back, the referees definitely did have a favorable whistle towards BRP. They shot way more free throws.
Wait, did or didn't?
Did.
Okay.
They shot way more free throws than Team TNC did. But blame the refs or not, Team TNC still had 3 to 4 opportunities to close that game out. Still, even with that, you set an opportunity to close that game. 1 and 2 being when Rob drove, Lance was ball watching the whole time. Malik, they said they told Malik to back cut right off him. As soon as Lance head turns, you go right off him because Lance was converging. The defense was converging when Rob drove. That drop off to Malik would have been epic for the game-winning dunk. That'd have been phenomenal. But yeah, two things can be true. The refs, it was really one ref. Didn't call the game the best, but at the same time, Team TNC still had a chance to win the game.
Take off, Mills.
As far as the refs go, I did not process that live. I would have to watch it back on video to honestly. I just don't really. I didn't really process like what calls were bad or. But the viewers, I think, have like the best opportunity to see those things because they're just watching for the to view. And when I watch a game like that, I can obviously clearly see it. So I just got to watch it back and see when was it like, was there a specific point in the game? Was there like a no call late in the game or what, or was it just overall?
For me, it was the DA drove. Malik had the swipe action. And I think based on the action, it kind of looked like a foul, but I think TNC was also getting fouled the same way. That last possession with Rob, DA is grabbing the hip. Like there's a lot of ticky-tacky fouls they could have called on the way too. But like I said, needless to say, they still had a chance to win the game.
I think the reason why BRP, I would have to watch it back as well, but I could be totally wrong. I think the PNR for BRP got him to the foul line a lot more in that second half because Lance would roll. They found Lance a couple of times. DA would drive based off the miscommunication from Malik Dunbar, whether it would be him opening up for Rob or Rob chasing over the top and DA getting a head full of steam, either dropping it off the Lance or trying to finish at the rim or some things like that. I do remember TNC taking a lot of jumpers in that second half or some mid-range jumpers in that second half. But I do think when you need 2 points like that, fellas, correct me if I'm wrong, would you guys like to see a switch where Malik Dunbar gets, let's say, DA on him or Isotay on him, he can work out of the mid-post or something like that? Or do you continue to put the ball in Rob Cologne's hands to finish that game? I don't really mind either or. I just want to hear your perspective on, is there anything TNC could have done to close that game, 2 points to go? Like, what would you rather see? Because I'm going to be honest with you, in Rob's mind, he could correct me if I'm wrong as well. He probably thinking, well, I just took all these threes to end the game when I played them one-on-one. I'm going to drive today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That is what he was thinking.
Yeah, so I just want to hear, is there anything different that TNC could have done to close?
I think so. I'm going to go real quick, Mills. I alluded to this in the pregame show. I think the best way to beat DA and Lance was to get him in a lot of actions, especially the pitch and chase. I think the pitch and chase needing 2 points would have worked way better because if I ISO and I have two of my guys on the wings and the corners and they're able to just sit at the boxes and elbows or the block, right, where I'm driving right into them, is different as to where if I have my big Malik at the high slot, I pass to him from the half court line. Now that brings my defender up, that brings Lance Stevenson up, and Cam is in help side guarding off of someone who also can shoot the ball in I'm blanking. My bad. Tay is off, who he has to be accounted for Cam because Cam can shoot the ball. So Tay can't help as much. Now, when you throw the pitch and chase, throw it to Malik, Rob catches it going downhill. Lance has to make the most like.
Oh, Lance would go to the rim. He's not going to pop with Malik. Yeah.
No.
Exactly. So if
that's
Malik
a wide open
stays,
shot. Yeah.
If Malik stays,
he wasn't contesting all night.
DA. Rob's going to the basket where Lance is kind of like, damn, okay, I'm playing two. If Tay overhelps, that's an easy kick. But
back.
If Lance doesn't guard and doesn't go out with Rob has a clear lane. If Malik rolls, Lance has to figure, okay, am I guarding him or the roller? DA's behind him, which means Tay has overhelp, so that you have to pick apart, and even Cam's even more wide open. There's just so much out of the pitch and chase that I wish they would have done for that last possession instead of an ISO.
Even just with the flat ball screen, we had a play in college called Bruin. I think it's called Spain action. I'm not really
screener?
So is that what Spain action is?
Spain action,
okay,
screen to
so
screener.
It's not Spain action. It's simply a flat ball screen. So Malik
Gortat?
Dunbar would, it might be Gortat. Dunbar would set a flat ball screen. You kind of choose whatever side you want to go, but every single time we ran this, like we spammed this in college, and I would always get to a point where the guard would follow me and that big would follow me, especially on game point. I know tendency, like Lance is going to the rim and DA's not going to leave. It's such a high pressure moment. It's 48-48. It's so much pressure on the rim. Both guys are going. If Tay's in the corner, then Malik is just wide open for the pitch back. Like I threw that pass 100 times in college. It's just a pitch back. And really, it could be a deep midi. It could be a little farther than the foul line. Like they could have gotten a better look. And I think in these games where they do allow, they want the last bucket to be scored, those mid-range looks or high quality jumpers is kind of how you can really get your best shot off to win. If you run that 3 to 4 times, there's no doubt in my mind you get a bucket. And and by the way, if Lance doesn't run to the rim to help on Rob, then you have a one-on-one in the paint with Rob and DA. So it's just like, to me, I just think that that's what guys need to be looking for more so, rather than just kind of scrambling and hoping you get a call or something like that.
I want to say this too. I think another way TNC could have really exploited BRP was, I never understood why in those P&R actions that BRP was running, that 2-man with DA and Lance, that Cam's so smooth, like he wasn't more in heavy help off Tay, playing a short closeout and making Tay either make that 3 ball or, making him make a play off the bounce, being that he's so out of rhythm. He hasn't touched the ball that much in that 3v3 at all. And when he did, he's quickly getting off of it because obviously, whatever the case may be in his head, he doesn't want to be in the way, whatever, or DA is calling for it a lot. To me, Isotay was never really in rhythm offensively that whole game. So I never really understood why. I saw a couple possessions from what I remember where Cam was outside of the paint or not even near the box. And I'm like, kind of hugged up on Tay over there. They're in a 2-man game with the 2 best players on the floor for them offensively, so to speak. You kind of got to make Tay make a play, so I kind of would have guarded that differently if I were them, especially like if they called a timeout and they talked about it some as well, because you kind of take a lot of ease or a lot of pressure off Malik Dunbar to either jam that screen or allow Rob to go through, whatever the case may be, because he knows in his head Cam is going to be backside. It's going to be a short closeout and make Tay make that 3 ball if he's open. It's something psychologically, as I'm not going to say Malik's a big, but as a forward, that you understand, okay, I got help side right here no matter what occurs in this P&R action, if I mess up or if I play it perfectly. So it's tough.
I want to add to your point. I think the hard part is this. I see people in the comments saying Rob got wrapped up on the last call. They didn't call it. I understand that. I think Rob got fouled too, 100%. What I'm saying is this. Time and time again, in just YouTube basketball in general, refs usually try not to end the game on free throws. Now, I will say that's not always right. A foul should be called a foul. Don't get me wrong. But if they didn't call it the few possessions before it, what makes you think they're going to call it the next possession?
Yeah.
Even for game, Lance got fouled. They didn't even call it.
He did.
So, I mean.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Mills.
Yeah, I guess as long as it's consistent on both sides, it's fine. But man,
they have to call fouls. Fouls are foul.
I get there's a little bit more that they're gonna allow, but I think at some point, man, like you just, no matter whose side it's on, it's just make the call. Because I
wish we could have access to that last play.
I gotta see that play.
We can't show it.
We don't have access to the last play. It's tough. It's tough right now, because I'm gonna be honest with you. So, did you watch it back at all? I haven't watched it back, bro.
Yeah, I watched it back a little bit. I was watching back to see like the like how physical the possessions were. The refs, I will say, because now we're gonna get into the altercation. Perfect transition. The refs had the power to stop all of that from the very first few possessions of the game. You stop the physicality, you blow the whistle, you have a tight whistle. They have to be, they can't be as physical. None of that stuff happens, in my personal opinion. But you let them just bang and clang and just be physical all day, no pause. You know what I'm saying? Grow up. Like, that's what we call it in basketball, clang and bang. Well, that's how we call it. But you let them do that for the longevity of the game on off ball, on the ball, chasing rebounds. It's going to add up. And then that's where the Malik and Lance situation happens, where that situation to me was tussle. They're wrestling. Okay, cool, whatever. Refs and security break it up. Not 40 fans coming in, trying to get their free shot, and not DA coming in and swinging on Malik.
Yeah, that was insane.
That can't happen because Malik and Lance weren't fighting.
That's a fact.
It wasn't oh shoot, my brother getting jumped. It was they were just tussling, got to the flow, and then that was it. Yeah. Even Lance will tell you that. So if B. Ellis and someone are in the tussle and they're hugging, that doesn't mean, oh, it's my turn to go, you know what I'm saying? Just go get a free one off. It doesn't work that way. Like, just let them be bygones. They're wrestling. At the end of the day, they're wrestling. No one's throwing punches. Let it be. But yeah, that was uncalled for and unacceptable. Thoughts, fellas?
Yeah, that was nasty. That was nasty. Because we've seen Lance get in these instances before outside of TNC. Him and Dwight Howard just got into in the Big Three, first game of the season.
Right.
And then they ended up doing what they got to do. They had a little tussle. They went to the floor, whatever the case may be. But that's Lance, though. Like, that is who he is. Like, we got to understand that going into these events. It's very high intensity. He wants to win the game. As long as punches aren't being thrown, we gotta boom and then continue. We got to be able to continue, but I think that was bad bump. That was bad bump, and I agree with you. I think the refs could have controlled this situation from the very get-go with a tight whistle because this was like it escalated. It wasn't just it happened. It was throughout the course of the game, and then all of a sudden, boom, once you reach the climax of the moment. So, yeah, man, one thing I am happy about, DA took full accountability, and he apologized to Malik publicly, and I think that's a huge thing. You know what I'm saying that. But not only did he apologize to him publicly, he apologized to him in private as well. So I think that's huge. You know what I'm saying? As a man, just making sure you have the same energy that you have on the live stream.
And then just learning from that and not letting it happen. Because, you know, that's what apologies are for. To me, it's just like an acknowledgement and then that'll never happen again type thing, you know? Because I mean, that could have been a Malice in the Palace situation. Like, if the fans get involved and once they're seeing punches are going to be thrown, they're going to start throwing punches. Especially in this, like, I mean, it's clear like punches can't be thrown. That's pretty much it. But I'm definitely happy that Malik held his composure. I'm happy that DA acknowledged his wrong and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, and also just one more comment, basically saying the fans didn't get to decide if they were in it or not. They went into the crowd. I was like, no, people from the booth where they're on the side, the Indiana side, they all ran from there to the baseline. That's what I'm saying. I was like, that doesn't have to happen. But there was punches thrown from one party. So then that's where it became, it was just a big scuffle. Like even Tay was saying, like he was trying to break it up. Like he was getting guys off the TNC people. It was a lot, bro. And for Malik to get up, be heated, take about a 5-minute break, come back and still finish the game. Utmost respect for Malik Dunbar.
Yeah,
facts. That is super commendable.
I thought there was no chance that game was finishing. When I saw Malik getting out of the huddle and his shirt was torn and stuff, and he was like, I was like, yeah, they may start the game again, but there's going to be a bump and then there's just going to be all out chaos. But last thing I'm going to say is when, like, with the fans coming in, so say we're with Malik, right? Or like his people that he traveled with or whatever, and you do see him getting punched, it's like, then those people are going to come onto the court. And because if my brother's getting punched, I'm going to do the same.
Right. But it was the people on Indiana side that were going.
I know.
Right.
But I'm just like, it's just mainly like, let's just no more punches being thrown for sure. Because that's how
we can't have that.
Should there have been technical fouls assessed?
Should have.
Because that's also huge too.
Did they see it?
I mean, regardless, Lance tackled him. So do you call that?
You talking about for the entire scuffle? Yes.
Like there has to be something called, right? Like Team BRP, I believe, got ball back.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
If I'm wrong, I think Team TNC. I think Team BRP got the ball back. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be
which is actually kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Nah, did they really so?
Because I remember Malik was standing next to Rob, and DA was on 3-point line, basically talking to them, like, "Yo, let's just finish the game." Woo. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Someone said DA hit a 3 right after the scuffle. Yeah, I think BRP got ball back. So I mean that's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, no. Wait, someone said TNC got it. I got to fact check. I got to go watch that back again.
Bro, that would be insane. But I think you do have to assess text just based on the entire scuffle. Based on what you see, who was involved, you definitely got to assess text.
Bro,
what's after that then? What's after that?
If we're being honest, I'm not trying to take sides at all. Who started it?
Lance.
I don't know.
Lance. You watched the whole play. Lance just like F it.
Lance was wilding.
So I mean, you kind of so did BRP get the ball or not?
I don't know.
Because I think if I'm Malik and I just took a beating, I want a reward. I want a reward for my composure. You know what I mean?
It's saying BRP and it's saying TNC got ball back. We'll have to go on freaking TNCLeague.com.
Yeah,
right
I don't
now.
know.
You meant to go on TNC League.
Either way,
I'm
I don't. We shouldn't drag it too much, but like because it's basketball, it happens. But let's just.
I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I say I commend Malik though.
For sure.
Because to be honest with you, Malik is the reason why that game continued.
Yep.
Yes.
Malik is the reason why that game continued.
Shout out Malik.
So I want to make sure I'll give a lot of love to Malik live here on this pod that we do, and let him know that I commend him because the energy around the event would have been completely different had that main event not continued. And I want to tell you that you are the main reason why the main event continued.
Shout out Malik for sure.
I think that pretty much covers everything from the event side. I do want to fact check if they got ball back or not because I think that is a huge thing there. And give me 5 seconds, fellas. Can you guys fill in the empty space? Real quick?
Yeah. But yeah, Mills, bro. That 3v3 is up there with the Jersey 3v3 with Keon, Cam, and Day.
The comeback.
Yeah, yes, bro.
Yeah. Was that the first main event 3-on-3 for a card?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to see more of that? Do y'all want to see more 3-on-3s for like headliners? Is that a thing or
I got it, fellas. TNC had ball back right after.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
TNC got ball back. 100%.
Clarification.
Now, I wish I could show you guys the last play too. I wish I could show you guys the last play. But not to drag this on too long though. All in all, great card, great event. Every game finished.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You're gonna have these things that happen, but you got to complete the objective. You got to.
Yep. Catch you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.